Good morning, people. It's a lovely Sunday. It's still morning, but not for very much longer. Try to pull that down a little bit. One of these days I might figure it out. So, happy Sunday. Happy Sabbath. Day of rest. Do. Welcome, welcome, Sabbath morning. Now we rest from every care. Welcome, welcome is thy dawning. Holy Sabbath, day of prayer. Maybe that's correct, maybe it's not, because I don't know for a fact. It's been a while since I've been to church and sang that song. And I can't tell if there's someone in the house or if it's next door or someone's moving around. This room, that's my office, used to be Shea Bear's room. She took Tyler's room when he left. But the point is, this room is loud. It's like, I don't know how it configures around the twin, as they call it. You got one building divided into half. But in this room, it seems like you're right next to them. I mean, and I don't know what kind of room it is over there, but it's loud, meaning I can hear them. Okay. My my daughter's on a trip with her fella, and so I've asked her to, take video here and there so I can share. So I'm just trying to figure out where Hamden is. I think it's Hamden, I'm not sure. Or it might be HAMP, Hampton. It was listed on the top of the video. So I'm just trying to figure out what state that's in, and then I'm going to post that. And then they stayed in a hotel that was built in 1802. So I asked her to take me some video of that too, so I could share. I think it's interesting to see places and things, that we're not privy to all the time. And we get stuck in our own little world. And we don't realize what's out there beyond our little travels. So I thought maybe someone might be interested, so I'm going to share some stuff as she goes across the country. She's not going across the country, that's what I did. We're in Lansdale, Pennsylvania, and when they left, they went north. Someone had told them to go up north and through Vermont and then over. That way they have some beautiful country to see, and they're not going through all those cities and all that traffic. So I think that was a better plan. And I think their first night spent at that hotel that was built in 1802 must have been trip. So anyway, she did take a video for me of the courtyard, and then she went in and took a video and going up the stairs and into their room. But she made that quick because they were packing and stuff. Nevertheless, pretty cool. So I hope that you guys will check these things out as I post them. I only have a little bit of time at the moment to do this video, and then later on I realized, after looking for Acts 10, I realized what happened. Okay, so I came home from that church meeting and I wanted to read the rest of Acts 10. And then as I was looking at that, I ended up starting at the beginning of Acts. So I never read Acts 10. I do know from the I don't know what you would call that. I almost called it a sermon, but it's not, but one of the guys got up there and was teaching out of Acts 10 about Cornelius and about him needing questions answered, and that he's a Roman. See, I'm going back into my mind, but he's a Roman, and the Jews, which is his apostles, I think might have all been Jews, I'm not sure. Anyway, they don't blend together. They don't mix, kind of like a lot of cultures today. They stick to their own. But I'm not sure. I want to say that's Peter. I think it is. But anyway, he had a lesson given to him through a dream. And the whole thing is, by the end of Acts 10, you realize that God's teaching him a lesson. And he said, he sent him a dream, and it was a weird dream. It was abstract, and it was symbolic. And what it was, in the dream, he was told to rise, kill, and eat. But as he's coming out of that dream, he's going, no, or maybe it was in the dream. No, Lord, I cannot. I've never eaten anything unclean. I'm not going to do that. And God told him, hey, guess what? What I say is clean, and it's not up to you. It's up to you to do what I said. Go teach this man. Even though what happened in the dream was there was a crow. I don't know what else was there, but there was a crow, and he was supposed to kill that crow and eat it. And he's going, no, I've never eaten anything unclean. I can't do that. So, but it was symbolic, and what it ends up being is he's talking about the people, and that this Jew has got to go and teach Cornelius the gospel. And Cornelius is a Roman soldier. And not just a Roman soldier, but he's over a lot of soldiers. He's a commander. But he said to him, what I have made clean is clean. What I say is clean is clean. So it's not for you to judge who gets this gospel. It started out in one way. But the way I understood it was the Jews put him to death. But see, the Jews are a lot of people. And it's those people in charge that didn't want to relinquish their charge. If my friend is listening, there's that word, relinquish. To give up, to cease, to stop. But anyway, the gospel is for everyone on this planet, no matter of your race, color of your skin, which might be the same thing. But there's a lot of brown-skinned people that are not what they would consider. Don't get mad, because that was the word I grew up with, was black, okay? But there are some actually really black people. And then there's all shades of brown. And maybe there's yellow. I remember a primary song. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in his sight. We're all children of God, okay? All of us. So, at this day and time, which is the latter days, God is gathering his children. He's giving the truth out there, meaning he's brought the truth back to this earth. And it's the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And if you've been following me at all, then you heard me talk about that, because the members of the church, the people who were baptized, were baptized into the church, and they were called saints. So it's only apropos at this late date that the members of his church are called saints. We're trying to do good. We're trying to live our life like Jesus. And that includes being kind to your fellow man. Not killing them. Not over there in that war, doing all kinds of damage. And all the bombs and things that are blowing up. You don't think that stuff's coming over here and affecting us? Ha! You think about that. When Mount St. Helens blew her top, that ash went all the way around the earth. All the way. So you want to tell me those bombs exploding and all that stuff out in the atmosphere isn't coming around here? Damage, major damage, people. But here's the deal. It's the damage of killing. You're not supposed to do that. Just because, I mean, you have to do it for survival purposes if it's right there in front of your face, but it just seems like we should have a say-so whether we participate in that. You know what I mean? Okay, I gotta quit being mean. Jelly bean. I wanted to say it, so now I've said it. I got a message a little bit ago from a person, a girl, a woman. Her father died last night of cancer. But she wrote me a comment. I'm glad that my videos help. And you make me cry. No, you don't make me cry. It's life in general. But thank you for sharing. You know, when my mom died, I didn't get there in time. Me and my sister and her kids were on the way, and she died before we got there. But my brother didn't tell us. We didn't find out until we were there. But I kind of flipped my lid, and I talked to my mom. In other words, I know she was there. Even though she wasn't in that body anymore, she was there. So I'm just saying, if you got things to say to your loved ones and they've just passed away, I think their spirit is still around where you can talk to them. You know, I would find a private place to do that, but I didn't. I was in a room full of people, but I still talked to her because I figured she was there. The gospel is wonderful, and it does give you hope. And it's not just for giving you hope, because I believe it to be true. Fantasy, you might call it a fantasy, whatever. Everybody has their own opinions, you know. But anyway, I just know that they're in a better place. They're not suffering anymore. And if loved ones went before them, then they're having a reunion, you know, all kinds of relatives. Like my dad, when he left, there was his wife and his mother and a couple of his brothers, and then a lot of other people, of course, but those were the ones really close that were there. So anyway, I figure it was pretty wonderful. So, take care, people. I have a lot to learn yet. And I know that I tend to think that I know a lot. And actually, I do know a lot. But no one ever knows it all. And then there's also this, like, feeling, relief among some people, that the spirit world is right here around us. Just in another realm, another dimension or something, you know? I don't know how that goes, but I know they're really close. The Church of Jesus Christ is here, people. The real one. Churches that are doing good, doing wonderful things out there for people. That's a good thing. But there's something different going on in the Church of Jesus Christ. Lots of learning, lots of spiritual experiences, and things we need to do before we leave here. And that's why we do work for the dead, because there were so many people who didn't get that opportunity. You know, people who've already died. But the pathway, just like that school type of deal, pathway. But it is the pathway to success. Well, that's the way I look at it. Okay, you need to get baptized into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And then you need to receive the Holy Ghost, the gift of the Holy Ghost. And that's the beginning. Then you bring yourself into the light, so to speak. You found the truth. You start learning. The men are able to grow, and so I don't know a whole lot about that. The priesthood is for the men, but it is the power to act in God's name. And at different ages, you have different things you can do with it. Ordinances, like the deacons and the priest administer the sacrament to the church members. So prayers are said over that. The deacons, and probably priests too, but passing the sacrament is that deal. And I think it would be priests that would do the, priests and above, who would do the prayers over the sacrament. I've got to turn on that air conditioner because I've got water pouring out of my body. I've got to figure out this stuff. I'm not sure what I'm doing. I'm going to make noise, people. When I say I've got water pouring off of me, I mean literally. Probably salt water, but it is water. So, it's a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time to be here on Earth, although it's also a bad time. Because there's a battle going on for your very soul, and you're being tested. What will I do? with this body of mine? And what choices will I make? Am I going to be a good person? Am I going to share what I have with others? That could be of your goods. That could also be of your knowledge, your talents.